Viewers, I'm going to ask a rhetorical question tonight and hope to back this rhetorical question with some facts. Viewers, are some political parties hell-bent on de-Hinduizing India? In the scramble for votes ahead of the 2024 general elections, this question is gaining currency because the partisan actions of some political parties in this direction are now quite apparent. In 1991, for example, and I'm taking you back a few years, a central government, for example, put an allegedly arbitrary fees on the rights of primarily Hindus to go to court to reclaim places of worship that had been destroyed or converted before 1947 by settler colonization, waves upon waves of settler colonization. Viewers, that was the beginning. It might have been an isolated event at that time, but it has led to a trend. And increasingly, viewers, we are seeing partisan actions being undertaken by certain parties of governance. Some parties, leading governments in certain states, for example, have been accused of granting a disproportionate share of the OBC quota to Muslims, forgetting that the Constitution bars such benefits being granted to followers of one religion. The matter has gone to courts, the courts have had opinions, but people, viewers, in the political class remain immune. Others have granted a certificate of secularism to sectarian parties like the IUML or even the ISF, and several others that unabashedly promote Muslim interests. Others have quoted the likes of Zakir Naik that aggressively preach the supremacy of Islam over other faiths. Still others are prepared to whitewash the historical record pertaining to the actions of zealots like Aurangzeb, Tippu, and even the perpetrators of the Mopila riots. Still others are busy evolving schemes to dismantle Hindutva, fearmonger about Brahminical patriarchy, and even deny the Kashmir Holocaust/genocide. All this is being done in the mistaken belief that secularism is being upheld. Viewers, when you deny the Hindu Holocaust, for example, or the Hindu genocide in Kashmir, are you upholding secularism? This is a misnomer. No, viewers, you are actually warping secularism to serve your interests. And what are those interests? Minorityism. If you think that minorityism is secularism, then God help you, viewers. Secularism is when the state maintains a complete separation between itself and religion. The state doesn't say, oh, we will, in the interests of protecting X minority, Y minority, lean towards them to the disadvantage of the majority. Social justice, viewers, today is selective. Today, viewers, for example, yet another step has been taken to discriminate in history against Hindu nationalists. The Karnataka Cabinet has approved the revision of textbooks to remove the chapters on RSS founder Balliram, Hedgewar, and Veer Savarkar. Instead, the revised syllabus will reinstate chapters on Jawaharlal Nehru's letters to his daughter, Indira Gandhi. Viewers, Savarkar spent a tortuous time in Kalapani. Viewers, does he deserve to be expunged? Just because one dispensation is not on the same page as him when it comes to a political outlook? And the parties that do it, viewers, call themselves liberal. Do liberals, viewers, cancel other opinions? If they do, viewers, then they're not liberals. Viewers, think about it. When Nehru was writing these letters to his daughter. He wasn't in the draconian circumstances that Savarkar found himself in. Those letters, viewers, in the nature of musings. Are Savarkar's musings some very valid ones on what our polity must be like? Less worthy than Nehru's musings? Because these are fundamental questions. I think we're all mature enough to realize that this is a big, big, erroneous mistake. More than this, viewers, the Karnataka Cabinet has also given its nod for the withdrawal of anti-conversion law brought in by the previous BJP government to protect ostensibly non-proselytizing religions against the predatory privations of Abrahamic traditions. Now, viewers, you know that in the Hindu tradition, you don't go about proselytizing. There is no concept of conversion. That exists in other faiths, and look how those faiths have expressed themselves against indigenous people from Latin America to South America to parts of Africa to Europe to parts of the Middle East, the southeast of Asia, and viewers on our borders. The Hindu tradition is perhaps one of the only traditions, apart from the Cynic tradition, that has been able to withstand this massive proselytization effort that is mandated by the scriptures of some of these faiths. And that is why you need these anti-conversion laws to prevent against what is known as forceful or deceptive conversion. But that shield is gone in Karnataka. And this twin purge has sparked a massive controversy, with many asking whether the Congress is pleasing the minority to secure a majority at the elections. But first, listen in to the Karnataka government defending its decisions, viewers. Listen.
The problem that the BJP has been having, that you're going to remove chapters on Hedgewar, on Savarkar. This is the concern.
Few of those things have been taken because certain things are disturbing for children.
The inclusions, if you could give us a little bit of insight into the inclusions at least, because you did say some chapters on Nehru is going to be included as well.
Yeah, Nehru is there, Phule, Savitribai Phule,
okay,
and certain things which are supposed to be good for children. See, BJP should understand one thing. Because they have done all these things, whatever they have changed, without any proper consultancy, thinking that they can, give their ideology, that is wrong.
They have to explain to the world why Baswa lesson was withdrawn, why Nehru's letters were withdrawn. It is wrong on their part. They don't have moral right to ask it.
There are also revision to whatever extent that can be done now will be done. Complete overall will be done for the next year.
Viewers, it's mystifying. The BJP is lashed out against the Congress. This is what it has said.
Congress always use Hindutva, speaks against Hindutva, nor against Hindu leaders, only to get votes of Muslims. This is very unfortunate that Congress always does this by showing RSS, by showing Hedgewar, by showing Savarkar. They want to polarize Muslim votes. Now they want to concentrate on the Muslim vote for the parliamentary election. So they have done it.
If they go through this lesson and if they show one word which is against the interests of the students and their personality development, I will openly demand an withdrawal. So if this present government in its wisdom has decided to withdraw this particular lesson, they are doing a great disservice to the student community.
Viewers, let's ask some fundamental questions. We don't need to reiterate that both Mr. Hedgewar and Mr. Savarkar were freedom fighters. They were honored by a large number of Indians, including some very prominent Congress figures, that viewers, their ideology was very patriotic. They had a defined sense of nationalism. They were nationalists. And they wanted everything that any viewers, Indian, who was interested in keeping India together would want. So why shouldn't our generations of young minds be exposed to their ideas? This is a fundamental question. Let's ask this question. And I want to begin with Tehseen Poonawalla. Mr. Poonawalla, you represent the Congress party and its outlook.
I represent India.
You represent India. You are allied to the Congress party also.
Yes.
In different
proudly.
ways.
Proudly.
Proudly. That's what I said. So I wasn't wrong. So I just want to ask you, Mr. Poonawalla, why is the Congress being so illiberal?
It's not. It's if you think Savitribai Phule's chapter should not be there, if you think Jawaharlal Nehru ji's letters should not be there, if you think great Kannada poets, their poetry and their lessons should not be there, then I feel bad that, you know, that's the state of affairs. All of these chapters that have been included, can anyone on this panel give me one word, one line against these great men and women? Savitribai Phule was from my city of Pune. Stones were thrown on her when she went to teach women education. Stones were thrown on her. You know who threw stones on her. People sitting here on the opposite side know who threw stones on Savitribai Phule. She was in my city of Pune. Should her chapter not be there? Why was it removed? Should the great Karnataka poets chapters not be there? Why should it not be there? Give me an explanation and I will give you an answer.
But Tehseen Poonawalla, you have, yes, I think you have deliberately taken this down and again another rabbit hole. I'll bring it back. You know, it can be, dilation is funny on some days, but it doesn't serve the purpose on other days. Let's be honest tonight and let's be serious and not trivialize this. I'm asking you a simple question. I'm not against having Mr. Nehru's chapters, though people could ask the question that if Mr. Savarkar is seen as a hate figure by the Congress party, a divisive character by the Congress party, then or an illiberal personality who believed in only promoting the interests of one community or was not really a secular, tolerant figure, then he should be purged. And Nehru, however, should be brought in. Now, viewers, the best antidote to this exercise is a better argument. Have both people bring out their positives and their negatives. So I'm asking you, Tehseen Poonawalla, we are not talking about Savitri Phule. They all deserve their respect. But in this narrow case, Savarkar is removed, Hedgewar is removed, and Nehru's letters to his daughter are brought back in, amongst other things. No one has a problem with the amongst other things. Why should these be cancelled in the first place? If our children can learn about Tipu Sultan and Aurangzeb, who are quite intolerant, had nothing in consonance with the idea of India, why can't we learn about other historical figures?
So first, the BJP should answer, why was Savitribai Phule and Karnataka poets removed? First,
that is not the debate, sir. That is not the debate.
So
the debate is simple. Two wrongs cannot make a right, can it?
Don't make a right. Let everyone be there. Who is against Savitribai Phule?
One at a time. Two wrongs don't make a right, sir.
So why was it removed?
Tehseen Poonawalla, do two wrongs make a right?
No, they don't. But in this particular
No,
case,
one second. No. One second. Just a minute. Viewers, no one's argument here. We are not. One second, Razak Saab. Just 1 second, please. I know you have deep antipathy and you're welcome to have your antipathy. But the BJP spokesperson is here, Member of Parliament, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. I just want to ask a fundamental question. Why should my children, for example, learn about Mr. Nehru in the manner that the Congress wants to project his legacy? Why can't there be an objective analysis? Was Nehru any less liberal?
That's a good question.
Or more liberal? I'll tell you, viewers, let's look at Nehru's liberalism, which no one focuses on. He introduced the First Amendment in 1951, which circumscribed free speech, and this was in an interim parliament, not a directly elected one. Viewers, when America, the oldest democracy, was born, their First Amendment was about increasing the scope of free speech. And you know why Nehru did it? Because he couldn't stand, viewers, the press sniping at him for some of the decisions that he was taking about certain policies. And he said, they're getting in the way of my good work, and this has been documented. His words have been documented, viewers, in academia and in, viewers, scholarship, by two authors who wrote a book on understanding Nehru.
May I be allowed to answer that?
No, one second, I'm not answering, I'm just exposing.
But may I be allowed
He
to comment on
overthrew
Nehru because
democratically
he's my
elected communist government in Kerala in 1959. He tried to dissuade India's first president, Rajendra Prasad, from attending the inauguration of the Somnath temple, which mattered to a large number of Hindus. That is not liberal or tolerant or inclusive, viewers. He pushed through amendments to Hindu personal laws, codified them after the election of the Congress party to power in 52. Not that these laws were not the need of the hour, but Nehru left Muslim personal laws untouched. This was clearly selective. Nehru was himself a dynast, but was accused of perpetuating dynastic politics by inducting Indira. He claimed he was not grooming a successor, but it is also a fact that Indira Gandhi was elected as Congress president when he was prime minister. Viewers, the first, or one of the first few presidents of the Congress party were ejected. You know why, viewers? Because they said that India should go back to its Indic values, that there should be a recognition of its Indic civilization. And Purushottam Ji was ejected as Congress president. Is this tolerance? Will this be taught? Were you taught, viewers, this about Nehru? No, you weren't. We were taught about Chacha Nehru Ji. We used to have a holiday. He was supposed to be a lover of all children. That is what we were taught about. We were taught about his openness, his great Nehruvian secularism. Viewers, think about it. We were taught a history that the Congress felt it had a monopoly over, or its ecosystem. Now, one second, I want to bring in Dr. Trivedi. Dr. Trivedi, the charge is that when you introduced people like Savarkar and Hedgewar into the curriculum or the syllabus in Karnataka, you did it without consultation. You did it to promote a hateful and intolerant saffron view of the world. You were trying to convert children, inject into their minds the poison of sectarianism. That is why these people need to go, and that is why Nehru's letters to his daughter Indira Gandhi should be brought in. Can you answer this charge?
Rahul, first I want to apologize. I joined 15 minutes late because there was a video conferencing of President with the Member of Parliament. Now I would like to answer what has been said. Just two quotes. For Hedgewar ji, I would like to say the Maharashtra government run by UPA in 2006 has published a book about the freedom fighters of the Vidarbha, on which, if it is published in Marathi, if my opponents are having any problem, I can send them the photo of that also, in which the reference of Hedgewar ji was there as a freedom fighter, with a reference of that he done satyagraha and went to jail in July 1921 for 1 year, and he came out in July 22.
Yes.
He tried to bring the resolution for total independence in Nagpur session in 1920, which was not accepted by Congress, and in 1913 Lahore Congress they accepted. 10 years later what Hedgewar ji was trying to put forth. On the issue of Savarkar ji, I would like to quote, in May 1920 Mahatma Gandhi in Young India has written an article by the name Savarkar Brothers, in which he has said, I met one of the Savarkar brothers, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, in London. उन्होंने लिखा कि इन माई ओपिनियन वो चतुर देशभक्त हैं और देश से बहुत प्यार करने वाले हैं. And he said that he's been in Kala Pani because of its utmost attachment to the motherland. And one more thing he has said, with Tehseen ji should try to understand, Gandhi ji has said, British Raj की बुराइयों को उन्होंने मुझसे कहीं पहले पहचान लिया था. He understood the hidden secrets or the nefarious design of Britishers much before me. I don't think that anything is left after that. That what was the contribution of Savarkar, what was the contribution of Hedgewar. But on the issue of Nehru ji, with due humility, I would like to say, Rahul, you have said that Nehru ji has asked Purushottam Das Tandon to step down. That is a half story. He has promoted J.P. Kripalani as his candidate, and within the Congress election, Kripalani lost and Purushottam Das Tandon won the election.
Yes.
Then Nehru said there should not be two power centers, and Purushottam Das Tandon has to step down. And one more thing I would like to say, Nehru ji became Prime Minister for the first time. Forget about the support of the people, the vote of the people of India. He had not got even a single vote in his own party. In April 1946, the Congress Working Committee meeting, 16 Congress committees have recommended. One name was recommended, was Sitaramaiah, Pattabhi Sitaramaiah. One vote for J.P. Kripalani, and all the rest vote to Sardar Patel, and zero vote to Jawaharlal Nehru. So till 1952 for 6 years, and this has been given. Tehseen ji ko thoda lag raha hoga. Sir, it is in reference to J.P. Kripalani, your party president's book, My Reminiscences with the Gandhi's Era. And also Durga Das' book of India from Curzon to Nehru and thereafter. And not only this, I would like to quote one more thing. Maulana Azad, who was Congress president during Quit India movement, unki book, in his book he has categorically mentioned that Nehru becomes very disturbed when somebody else is praised more in front of him. India Wins Freedom, the name of the book. Agar zarurat hogi to page number hi bata dunga. So I have just quoted the books and references of the Congress leaders, and not only Congress leaders, who were the Congress presidents. I think our opponents are having less understanding of their own party. They have not studied the literature of their own party and tried to hoodwink and usurp the one and only credit for the entire freedom struggle, despite the fact there were three strong freedom struggle. One was the revolutionary, the Krantikaris. Another was by the army, armed struggle by Subhash Chandra Bose. Another was the political struggle. All three are having contribution to the freedom.
And let me also tell you, viewers, that Tehseen Poonawalla was talking about Savitribai Phule, saying that she was cut out, this, that, the other, and this is obviously wrong, and it is wrong, viewers, if she was cut out or denied her due. But let me tell you that the community that she belonged to, Mr. Veer Savarkar worked tirelessly to integrate them into society.
Absolutely.
So, he was the greatest crusader against untouchability, viewers. And we forget this. We forget this because that space needs to be occupied, you see, viewers, by Congress icons. Yes, please, sir.
Point out one.
Please.
May I please,
Doctor. Please, Doctor. No, Dr. Trivedi wants to, because you made a direct charge. You made a direct. I will, sir. I will allow you.
The issue of Savitribai Phule.
Yeah.
Just one sentence, Tehseen bhai, just one sentence. Just one sentence,
please.
Tehseen bhai. On the issue of Savitribai Phule, I would like to say, outside Maharashtra, they cannot quote a single instance in which the Savitribai Phule ji's statues were made. Savitribai Phule chowk was made. It was made during BJP-BSP coalition government in Uttar Pradesh. If you go to Lucknow, I think outside Maharashtra, you will see only state in which see so many statues of Savitribai, Narayan Guri and others, and it was during the BJP-BSP coalition government. So whatever respect we have given, I think the statues are the example of that.
Well, I don't want to. Yes.
May I just make one line?
Yes.
Just two lines. Number one, Sudhanshu ji, I completely agree with you. Hedgewar ji did go to jail and participate in Satyagraha. What you haven't told the viewers of Times Now is that in 1921-22, he was a proud member of the Congress party. He never went to jail after he formed the RSS. That's point number one. Point number two, Acharya Kripalani ji in 1946 elections, you're right that he won, but he was a staunch critic of Nehru ji. He was against Nehru. Nehru ji's candidate actually lost. Acharya Kripalani won in 1946 and he continued to be a critic of Nehru ji until he passed away and a critic of Indira ji. That is the reality. Congress elections are
but he didn't get to be prime minister.
Because
that just tells you something. Anyhow, look viewers, if Mr. Hedgewar, according to Dr. Trivedi, yes.
All the viewers, which will be very interesting also.
Yes, please make your point.
तहसीन भाई, आचार्य जेबी कृपलानी ने अपनी किताब में लिखा है, in the meeting was called to elect the interim prime minister who will be the party president. Kripalani ji was asked by Gandhi ji and Kripalani said, I am transferring my vote to Nehru. It never happens in democracy. Somebody can withdraw its candidature, but there is no provision of transferring. Then he looked towards Pattabhi Ramaiah. Then Pattabhi Ramaiah said, I am transferring. अब देखिए कृपलानी किताब में है. Then he looked towards Patel and Patel remained unmoved. Then Gandhi writes a chit and the chit is being given to Patel. Patel stopped for one moment and then he says, I am also withdrawing and transferring my vote. Sir, it is a reference by your party president JP Kripalani. You are saying a critic of Nehru. अब वो तो minute by minute description है उस meeting का.
Sir, may I please be allowed to counter you?
Yeah.
In the Congress constitution, the Pradesh committees do not have the right to elect a prime minister. They can only elect a president. Kripalani was elected president and he continued to be president. There is no provision to elect a prime minister or interim prime minister. Nehruji was selected prime minister in 1946 itself by the British government and Mountbatten. When the division happened, Nehruji was prime minister. The prime minister of Pakistan was Liaquat Ali Khan, who later on became prime minister. So that is history, that is recorded history, sir. With due respect to you, sir, because you are very learned, sir.
Dr. Trivedi.
मैं इनका जरा करेक्ट कर दूं. राहुल जी मैं करेक्ट कर दूं इनको.
Yes.
Number one, in 1946, Mountbatten was not the viceroy. The viceroy was Wavell. Mountbatten came in March 47. And other thing, sir, 46 में under the cabinet mission plan, it was instructed by the British government that Congress should elect a new president and the president will be the prime minister of the interim government. And for electing president, that meeting was held in April 46 and Gandhi asked Maulana Azad to step down and new president was selected. And until that time, the president was selected by the Pradesh Congress committees. It is still in your...
Okay, so let me tell you viewers, this is what happens. This is what happens when people like Tehseen Poonawala read the history written by their own party acolytes. अगर कहीं और की भी हिस्ट्री देख लेते, पढ़ लेते, तो maybe he would have been able to understand that there was a lot more to what happened than he knows. And that is the problem, viewers. We are narrowing our minds, not expanding them, and we are doing it for minority benefit, appeasement politics. This is what upsets. And I just want to open this up very quickly. Rahul Ishwar, Vishnu Jain, Abdul Razak. Now, first of all, I want to begin by asking Vishnu Jain. Vishnu Jain, this is a very, very important question that I'm asking you. Do you believe that appeasement politics has reached a point where we have lost perspective of our own history? Simple. Whether it is on the left or the right.
Rahul,
yeah.
Rahul, see, as a lawyer, when I have studied various textbooks of law, and analyzed it also very deeply, I feel and I believe that the appeasement politics made by certain political parties for vote bank of a particular minority community has destroyed the basic structure of the constitution. Let me quote, and a very important quote. The quote is, each soil has its own history, like a river, a mountain, a forest, or a natural thing. Its present condition is due to the influences of many things and events of the past. Today, as a citizen of this country, I have a right to know that what my forefather, Mr. Savarkar, did in this country. I have a right to know what Baligram Hedgewar has done for this country. And you cannot brush away that glorious past, that glorious history from our textbooks. Let me also quote Rahul. the various draconian laws which Nehru has made, apart from what you have quoted. The Nehruji was the founding father of the discrimination which was shown in Article 30 and Article 29 of the Constitution of India. Today, the minority ministry which is run by the government of India, the father of that minority ministry, the seeds were sown at the time of Congress era. The father of all these minority appeasement politics has started from the Congress government, which has reflected in the Places of Worship Act 1991, which has reflected in the Birth Act 1995. Let me also remind you, one of the prime ministers of this country had said that इस देश के संसाधनों पे सबसे पहला अधिकार मुस्लिम्स का होता है, and therefore such a committee was introduced. Therefore, this minority budget of 5,200 crores was introduced, which was rising every time in every budget session. And thankful to the present government, for the first time in Indian history, 2,000 crore budget has been cut down on minority appeasement politics. So my point is that this entire party, from its beginning till date, has always believed in minority appeasement politics. And for them, Rahul, minority is only from a particular community. Let me also tell you that we all very, very boldly say that in the original textbooks of our Indian Constitution, Lord Ram is there. But we must also tell the entire community that in the original text of the Indian Constitution, Tipu Sultan is also there. Akbar is also there. And it has to be dealt with someday. When this country was divided on the basis of religion, why was there this Nehru Liaquat Pact? And was this Nehru Liaquat Pact followed? I ask a question to myself. Was the permit system which was introduced was absolutely followed in its letter and spirit? Why was this? Why this law which has been brought by the Congress government in 1992, the National Commission of Minority Act, has not been questioned in this country for decades?
Very good point. These are very good points. And Abdul Razak, can you cooperate with me this evening? I want to ask you a question. And it's a yes or no question. Do you think the Hindu Mahasabha is a communal or was a communal organization? Yes or no?
All those that came from there, the Jansangh,
yes or
the
no,
BJP,
sir?
the RSS,
yes or no?
are all belonging to the same
yes or
Mahasabha.
no?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
They were communal.
Now bear with me. Now bear with me.
They were communal.
Now bear with me. This is what the constitution of the Hindu Mahasabha had to say when it conceptualized the Hindustan Free State. Mr. Razak said it's a communal organization. The freedom of conscience and the free profession and practice of religion and protection of culture and language are subject to public order and morality, guaranteed to every citizen that no law shall be made either directly or indirectly to endow any religion or prohibit the free exercise thereof or give any preference or impose any disability on account of religious belief or religious status. Viewers, it advocates really, in a primordial sense, for a uniform civil code. Rahul Ishwar is there with us. Let me also read to you what Savarkar ji said about the Indian state in 1937. Let the Indian state be purely Indian. Remember, viewers, when I asked Mr. Tehseen Poonawala whether he subscribes to the Congress, he said, no, I'm an Indian. So Savarkar ji is also talking about Indians. Let the Indian state be purely Indian. Let it not recognize any invidious distinctions whatsoever as regards the franchise, public services, offices, taxation on the grounds of religion and race. Let no cognizance be taken whatsoever of man's being Hindu or Mohammedan, Christian or Jew. Let all citizens of that Indian state be treated according to their individual worth, irrespective of their religious or racial percentage in the general population. Let that language and script be the national language and script of that Indian state, which are understood by the overwhelming majority of the people, as happens in every other state in the world, i.e. England or the United States of America. And let no religious bias be allowed to tamper with that language and script with an enforced and perverse hybridism whatsoever. Let one man, one vote be the general rule, irrespective of caste or creed, race or religion. This is a liberal manifesto, viewers. And we are told, that these people are communists. Rahul Ishwar.
In
Just one
chapter,
submission.
we are
Veer
glorifying
Savarkar
the
was a
father
great
of
patriot.
nation.
1 minute, 1 minute. I will expose.
In another chapter, you cannot.
One
Just
second,
give me
Mr.
one line,
Razak.
Abdulji. Just give me one line.
Mr. Razak,
Veer
let
Savarkar was a
somebody
great
accused
patriot
of
who
assassinating
spent
Gandhi.
4,000 days in jails.
Why are you
for
shouting?
and me. Veer Savarkar was a great patriot who spent 4,000 days, more than 4,000 days in jail for you and me. And Pujaniya Sarsang Chalak, Dr. Ji was even respected by Mahatma Gandhi. Let
But
me
that
quote
was not
Mahatma
for
Gandhi
freedom
himself.
movement.
When he went to 1934, a RSS Shaka, Mahatma Gandhi says, it appears impossible to ward off the evil of untouchability from our society. How has this phenomenon been made possible in Sangh? And then he talks to Dr. Ji later and he says, Dr. Ji, I am indeed very glad. The country will be certainly benefited by the success of your efforts. This was by the father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi himself, admiring Dr. Ji and Veer Savarkar also, as Sudhanshu Ji rightly said. So they are great patriots who have given their life for the nation. They have not married. Dr. Ji never married. He completely dedicated his life to this nation. And removing
Rahulji,
them,
please be courteous.
similar
Give me
to
my time.
demeaning.
I will give you, I'll ask you a question, don't worry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
demeaning our entire history. See, and please remember, what about Pranab Kumar Mukherjee, one of the greatest congressmen, our president, Bharat Ratna. Pranab Kumar Mukherjee said, Dr. Ji is one of the greatest sons of Bharat Mata or Mother India. So they are even forgetting Mahatma Gandhi. They are even forgetting Pranab
He
Kumar
even
Mukherjee,
attended the
who went to RSS and who
as well
proud
by LK Advani.
Dr. Ji as one of the great sons of India. So Congress is trying to be far left. This is not good for this is not good for Congress itself. Congress has to be center left, not kind of far left. Trying to please someone. This is not the way of Congress, which was the grand old party of Mahatma Gandhi. Had Mahatma Gandhi been alive, Mahatma Gandhi would have disagreed on revoking anti-conversion law, because anti-conversion law was Mahatma Gandhi's idea. Anti-forced conversion law was a Gandhian idea. He respected Sangh. He respected Savarkar. They may have healthily disagreed on some points. See, that is democracy. They may have happily and in a healthy manner disagreed in one point or so. But demeaning our great freedom fighters.
He respected Savarkar. Very good to know. But Savarkar wasn't accused in Gandhi's assassination.
Sir, he was exonerated by the courts.
He
was acquitted and exonerated by the courts, and he was
because of lack of evidence.
Oh, come on, Razak Saab, I want to ask you a fundamental question tonight. No, 1 second. Gentlemen, let me come in.
Did not go to Kala Pani for
Let me come in.
movement.
Abdul Razak.
He did not write mercy petitions for
1 second. No, you are talking rubbish. Abdul Razak, please listen to me. Take a question from me. Are you secular, sir? Are you secular, yes or no?
Please.
Are you secular, yes or no?
Definitely yes.
Okay, so let me ask you. Do you support the Uniform Civil Code?
Sir, first of all, let
Kya ho gaya,
study the
sir?
law,
Do you,
let
yes
them
or no?
bring in. Now they have asked people.
Do you
they have
support the
asked for
UCC?
Questions.
Answer the question.
Sir, dekhiye, this
Do you
country-
support the UCC?
Sir, this country
Do you support the
gives you
UCC?
provision
Do you believe
to
there should be
practice
one law
protest,
for one
propagate
India?
No, I
Do
will
you?
not support.
You don't support.
No.
Viewers, I rest my
No,
case.
I will not
I
support.
rest my
because
case.
The Constitution
I agree,
itself
sir. No.
has guaranteed you can practice your religion.
Okay,
the way
viewers,
you
let me
Come
come
on,
in here.
let
The same
truth not be,
constitution that
RSS
Abdul Razak.
labs.
Okay, you're not going to shout over me, sir. This is wrong. Please don't shout over me. Please, gentlemen. The Constitution of India, the Constitution of India devolves upon us to adopt a UCC. These are the exact words, viewers. And Abdul Razak, who says that he is secular and believes in the Constitution, wants to conveniently forget this very important directive in the Constitution. Why, viewers? You ask yourself. And then why, viewers, does the Congress party also oppose the UCC? Now you get the link. I'm not going to spell it out for you, viewers. You must understand. Hence, I began by asking this fundamental question. Is pleasing minorities for poll majority the reason why the Congress party censors the history of this country and wants to monopolize it and set out a narrative for our children to learn that will be, viewers, in complete alignment with their partisan political objectives? That's the question. I leave it at that, viewers. I want to focus very quickly on a monumental development. Today is the 3rd anniversary of Galwan bravery. India is all set to get on this day a new